dribble it out. Now this Nevada team looking as though it will get to 8-0 for the second straight year. Now 5 to shoot. And a kick. Now the crowd not happy with that call. Second half offense. 35 points to 20 on the other side by USC. They've been shooting the lights out of the ball, especially from behind the arc. Nevada just running some clock now. Of course, Cody Martin, Caleb Martin, Jordan Caroline, all testing the NBA waters after last season, all deciding to return for their senior seasons. This throws up a prayer. And now a foul called. This is Trayshawn Thurman palms up. Timeout with 3:40 to play in this one. Wolfpack looking to get to 8-0.
The right tech can move you. The best tech can move the world. Surround yourself with safety in the all-new 2019 Nissan Altima. Impossibly smart.
You asked, and it's back. The Papa John's Double Cheeseburger Pizza brings cheeseburgers and pizza together again. It's the best reunion ever. For $11, get a large pizza with double beef, zesty burger sauce, cheese, Roma tomatoes, and pickles.
These little cups would make great stocking stuffers. But how about right now in your mouth stuffers? Happy holidays to your mouth. Not sorry. Reese's.
You see, Brad, songs are really about big life moments. Baby shower here. Big life moment.
What is in here?
Ooh, I hope it's a life insurance policy.
What?
It's a sensible gift. Protection for you and your family. Nationwide has all the tools to help you find the right coverage.
Tiny baby shoes. So close.
Makes no sense. Baby can't even walk. Should have been a life insurance policy. Plus, would have been a great song. Think about it. The lyrics, beneficiaries. Ooh, Brad, where are you going?
Our parties are much less crowded than this.
Dilly dilly! Dilly dilly!
Our catchphrase is much more dignified than that.
What'd you say?
What?
Bud Light. For the many, not the few.
Manolo, you're so cold. Come in. What's wrong?
It's dry.
Your scalp might get dry in the winter, too. Try Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Care. It nourishes the scalp and keeps you up to 100% flake-free. Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Care.
Urban Meyer, a lot of questions about his future. We know for sure he will be on the sidelines tonight as Ohio State tries to wrap up another Big Ten title against Northwestern and keep their college football playoff hopes alive. Big Ten championship game next on Fox. I know Jim will be watching, Aaron.
He's still here, which is a step in the right direction.
Well, I'm out of here quick. Okay, after the game. So our producer better not have an interview for me, anything like that. I'm out. I got to get ready.
Then let's get this out of the way now. Time now for the Lexus playbook. As this first play happened in the final minute of the first half.
Well, Jordan Caroline coming over half court, able to get it over to Cody Martin. And sometimes the communication doesn't have to be spoken. It's time language. That time Trayshawn Thurman is in the corner pointing up. Throw it up. I'm going to go get it. Martin able to deliver on time. And then, again, hand signals, kind of like football. Communicate in transition. This time Caleb Martin has the ball. Trey Porter down the lane already told him, I got this, throw it to the rim. And I can finish.
Talk about how much Nevada has dominated the second half. They're shooting 57% since halftime. Counter that to 36% for the Trojans. Same team.
Yeah, but, you have a veteran team here with the Wolfpack who kind of been through the wars a little bit and, made the adjustments at halftime offensively and defensively. And that's what you expect when you have senior leadership. okay? Not your prototypical point guard playing.
Sure.
But you have trusted individuals that handle the ball that make intelligent decisions.
Cody Martin, who just missed that shot, moved from power forward last year to point guard. And a bad miss by Matthews. And that brings up a point worth noting for Nevada moving forward. They're without their 3-year starter at the point. Lindsey Drew injured his Achilles last year. That was in February. That's when Martin took over the point guard duties. He was cleared to practice just the other day on Thursday, but has been hampered by a hip injury. He has made this trip to Los Angeles, of course, to support his team, but also in part to see a hip specialist. And there's some really serious concern as to the severity of his hip and what his status might be in the short term and the rest of the season. So right when they thought that they were getting him back after the Achilles, the hip injury cropped up. But a tough night for Boatwright. Out of bounds and going the other way.
You know, it's interesting because the way Eric Musselman has kind of reorganized by trusting Martin to kind of handle the ball goes back to his NBA days, too. He was an assistant coach with the Hawks when I was there. And you make adjustments on the fly sometimes, and you understand the quality of players that you have, maybe a little unconventional at times, but coaches trust players that can make sound decisions, okay? And having ball handlers is a lot different than having ball handlers that make sound decisions. And right now, he's put the trust in both Martin brothers that they'll be able to handle the perimeter duties until they kind of really figure out what's going on with the backcourt.
Aaron might have gotten away with a step. 9 points for Shaquan Aaron, trying to get to double figures for the 3rd straight game. Jim, you actually played for Eric Musselman. This is a guy who's been all over the place. College, the NBA, the D-League. Overseas.
I've been on 12 different teams, but I knew his father really well, too. So watching his career's trajectory, he was bound to have success at one point. Not that he didn't in the NBA, but he learned so much. I think when you're an assistant coach in the league, you figure out temperaments and personality because you're dealing with big egos. And I think it helps on this level in regards to getting these young men prepared for the challenge, especially what they have this year of expectations, and how to utilize the talent that they have to achieve their goals.
That's on Aaron. Offensive foul. Well, let's see here. The coaching resume, 4 different countries. Did you know there are 4 pro leagues? And, of course, 3 different Division I schools.
Yeah, well,
he was the D-League head coach right here in Los Angeles.
Right.
Familiar with the Pac-12. He was an assistant under Herb Sendek at Arizona State.
That's called put in your work. It's like a player that's played overseas. He's played in the G League. He's played in the CBA, European, and then finally getting a shot at an opportunity with the NBA team and making the most out of it because of that journey.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll say this is the first of 3 Pac-12 foes that Nevada will be playing this year. All will come either on the road or a neutral site. Next week, and nearly a week from now, they'll be playing Arizona State here in Los Angeles at Staples. And then it's never easy playing at Utah. They'll be taking on the Utes.
Always tough to play there. But, you know, one thing I like about this team is that they play at their own tempo. Okay? It'll be interesting to see if the backcourt remains the same for the Wolfpack. The teams will press up a little bit more and make the Martins really have to handle pressure more of an extended 3/4 court instead of allowing them to bring the ball up. Because that can also affect the timing of their offense if they do it. Again, USC really can't do it because they don't have the bodies.
Ooh, a hard tumble to the ground, Caroline.
Tough foul here, and Caroline to the basket, going airborne, and not an intentional play here by Usher whatsoever. But when you have 2 big bodies like that colliding, and one has already given up his body in the air, a collision takes place. And being that big and powerful, you're going to hit the ground a little bit with more force than the average person.
Well, they will review it. That is the 5th foul, no matter how it shakes out for Usher, so he's done.
The key here, Aaron, as you know, is Usher go for the ball. And right there he does. It just happens that the arm comes across. And the angle in which Caroline comes in, those two big bodies, you're talking about two massively built young men, built like football players, coming together.
About to get to 31-2, the Wolfpack, when Caroline notches a double-double, 20 and 11 today. A senior from Champaign, Illinois. Last year, the starting center. This year, the starting small forward for the Wolfpack. How about that upcoming schedule, the notable non-conference games for the Wolfpack? Less than a week from now, right back here in LA at Staples against Arizona State, then Grand Canyon. Then we talked about the Utes at the end of the year. Taking on Larry Kostoviak's club.
You know, test one, success for Nevada. Again, against a USC team, and you do have to put an asterisk there in regards to not having the full arsenal of complement of players. But on the other end, Nevada didn't come in here and didn't take this team serious, because it's easy to say our foe is not as talented, or the key players are not playing, and we can waltz through this, and you end up getting the L. But, you know, this Nevada team regrouped, gathered themselves, and was able to walk out of here with a much-needed victory. I think they kind of show everybody they are worthy of that number 5 ranking.
Now, USC led at the half, 35-34. And Nevada will go on to improve to 8-0 for the second straight year. And they will continue their trend, more than likely, of winning every game by double figures. In fact, this is a much closer game than the norm have been for Nevada. They've been winning by an average of about 20 points a contest.
USC just ran out of, you know, patience, I truly believe, coming out in that second half, because we saw some really good things from this team in the first half. And it's a building block that Coach Enfield will take and say, listen, guys, this is who we are right now in regards to what we have. So we have to do a better job of allowing ourselves to have a chance to win the game. We can't beat ourselves, like right here, creating offense from your defense.
Now Thornton gets his hands on another, hurdles the camera crew. Good hustle play with under 13 seconds to play. USC will be back in action. That'll be on FS1 on Friday at Staples. They'll be taking on TCU. Hope to see you there. Well, find a way to punctuate this victory for Nevada. 73-61. This was an impressive showing once again by the Wolfpack.
You know, you go on the road, you're going to be tested, zone defense, where's your mentality at, little earlier game, all these things go into consideration. But when you're the number 5 team in the nation, when you have senior leadership, this is what you come to expect. You play hard, you share the basketball, you rebound, you complete the purpose. Right now, Nevada is rolling. Tough team to beat.
Nevada 8-0 for the second straight season. They've won every game by double figures. For Jim Jackson, for Christina Pink, for our entire Fox Sports crew, I'm Aaron Goldsmith. So glad you could join us here in Southern California this afternoon. After the break, we'll send you out to Mike Hill, Casey Jacobson, and Steve Lavin in our College studio.
Presented by Discover, tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
My name is Amy Belafonte. I didn't used to believe in monsters, but I do now.
Tell me again, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna get out of here.
How are we gonna do it?
We're gonna remember everything, and we're gonna be ready.
What are we not going to do?
Panic.
The Passage, coming this January to Fox. Twin brothers defend their titles in an epic night of fights on Fox. Middleweight champion Jermall Charlo takes on Willie Monroe Jr., while junior middleweight champion Jermell Charlo defends his belt against Tony Harrison. PBC on Fox, live from Barclays Center, December 22nd, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
'Tis the season to overspend.
You're in the spirit. It's about giving.
Don't go over budget this holiday season. How to shop without breaking the bank. Monday at 6.
The holidays are here. Make the most of the road home. Hurry in to receive a credit of up to $3,000 on select models now through January 2nd.
At Toyota, November is Go-Vember. You've got places to be and people to see. Everyone's raving about our Black Friday savings. We've got super big deals on super sweet wheels. Go style. Go tech. Go fun. Get to Toyota's Go-Vember Black Friday sales event before these deals go. Right now, get $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash when you lease a new 2018 Toyota Camry. Hurry, these offers end soon. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Optimum Black Friday sale is a 17-day event, now through December 2nd. Find out how to get a $100 American Express gift card, plus a Nest Cam indoor security camera on us. Get Altice One, just $69.99 a month, with over 220 channels, a voice-activated remote, 200 meg internet, a 40% better Wi-Fi experience, and unlimited data. Call 866-200-7022 and find out how to get a $100 American Express gift card and a Nest Cam indoor security camera on us, now through December 2nd.
Good Day Wake Up. Good Day New York. Watch New York's winning teams. Weekday morning starting at 4:30 on Fox 5. Time and temperature brought to you by your local Ford store. For great deals, visit buyfordnow.com.
You ready for some football? I know that guy is. Pat Fitzgerald, head coach of Northwestern. Looking to get that first win against Ohio State in a long time. 2004 big win today will give them a Big Ten championship. That game coming up right here on Fox. Mike Hill, Steve Lavin, and Casey Jacobson. Going back to basketball. Nevada 8-0 for the second time in 2 years. Of course, got a 12-point victory over USC. It wasn't the dominant win that we've seen Nevada get this year, but it was a win indeed, and a win that helps them build that resume.
Yeah, and a dominating performance in the second half, where they really just deliberately, methodically dismantled USC. And they did it through defense and then offensively probing, exploring matchups they could take advantage of, a cohesive approach in terms of looking for one another. They were sharp, crisp, on point in the second half from start to finish, and as a result, get themselves a win. And it was a test to win on a Pac-12 team's floor. They beat BYU to open the season. They've got another test next week against Arizona State. That's how you build a resume in the selection committee's eyes.
No doubt. And we've talked a lot about the Caleb and Cody Martin twins, and justifiably so. They're excellent. But Jordan Caroline normally sits in the backseat of that conversation. Today, he drove the bus. He was so good. And he's, you know, kind of the heart and soul, I would say, the toughest player that they have. They are 31-2 when he has a double-double throughout the course of his career. And today, it was 24-11. Just a relentless attacker on both ends of the court. Remember, last season, he played center for this team. This year, they've addressed that. He is more of a 3/4 man, and when he can play his natural position, he's a much more effective weapon.
8-0 for the second straight year. Nevada still undefeated. All right, meanwhile, across the nation, Gonzaga, #1 team in the nation, first true road test against Creighton, and it was a tough one, guys, because, well, Creighton couldn't miss from deep in the first half.
Well, early Creighton both offensively and defensively clicking, extended to a 12-point lead, but Gonzaga just keeps coming.
They made 6 of their first 9 threes, led by 7 at the half. Second half, Creighton up 5. Ooh!
That Davion
Mintz, yeah. Blue Jays up by 7, but back comes Gonzaga, Zach Norvell.
No, he is as explosive a scorer as there is in the West Coast, a lefty. I always feel like lefties just, it looks so much more beautiful. Zach Norvell can shoot it from deep. He can also drive it. But here is the best player on their team.
Norvell had 23 of his 28 in the second half. Brandon Clark got it done, 27 points as Gonzaga wins again. Uh-oh, Stanford, #2 Kansas, Casey.
Oh, boy. Actually, are they winning right now?
Look, okay, look at the highlights. Azubuike, the alley-oop, Kansas down 0-1, Casey. Check it out. Later in the first side at 21. Lawson in the post.
He's good.
The hook shot, 13 points at the break for him, but guess what? Well, Stanford up by 3.
Stanford has 5 3-point shots in the first half. This is not one of them. Kansas 0 for 6 so far in this game from the 3-point arc.
Don't jinx it. Card up by 12 in the second half at Kansas.
Oh, man.
Number 19, Purdue. Number 7, Michigan. Michigan is for real. And this kid right here, cocky.
He's got muscles, and he's not afraid to show them. But he's got a game, too. He can ball.
Charles Matthews, John Tess. Ooh. Michigan up by 15 points. Iggy getting it done once again, Laugh.
Well, it's a John Beilein coach team that's at midseason form here early in conference play, and offensively, defensively tied together. Matthews, Poole, and of course, young fella going to work.
Test 17 points. Michigan wins again, 76-57. About UNC Greensboro, number 10. Kentucky, and Greensboro giving Kentucky some issues at Rupp.
That's something of the day right here.
Oh! Did I take that from you, Laugh? Oh. You say, I say, ooh.
Here's one more.
There you go. Reed Travis. I'll give you one more. Keldon Johnson, here you go, Laugh. Your sound effects in full effect.
Skip pass. You want to drive a skip pass because that closeout is so far, you're going to get a free chance at the rim.
Kentucky wins it by 17, 78-61. Hey, 12th ranked Kansas State came into the weekend undefeated. We'll show you if Marquette, though, hand them their first loss. And, boy, they had a junior that was crazy impressive.
You're headed down the highway when the guy in front slams on his brakes out of nowhere. You do, too, but not in time. Hey, no big deal. You got a good record, and Liberty Mutual won't hold a grudge by raising your rates over one mistake. You hear that, Karen? Liberty Mutual doesn't hold grudges. How mature of them.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise their rates because of their first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Wake up, wake up. The time has come for paths to be beat and treasures won, and impossible tales to be sung. As we take on our foes, together as one, till we send our fears back to where they came from. Wake up, wake up. The time has come.
Most people still think that Arby's only serves roast beef sandwiches. Well, if that's the case, we sure have a lot of odd-looking roast beef sandwiches. This roast beef sandwich looks a lot like a smoked brisket sandwich. This one here looks like a Reuben. It's uncanny. And these are the strangest looking roast beef sandwiches I've ever seen.
I agree, Chef.
Thank you.
Arby's, we have the meat.
For sandwiches.
I used to book my hotel room on those travel sites, but there was always a catch. Like somehow you'd wind up getting less. But now I book at Hilton.com and I get all these great perks. I got to select my room from the floor plan.
Very nice.
I know, I'm good at picking stuff. Free Wi-Fi, laptop by the pool's a bold choice, and the price match guarantee.
How do you know all this? You like some magical Hilton fairy?
It's just here on the Hilton app. Just available to the public, so. Book at Hilton.com and get the Hilton price match guarantee. If you find a lower rate, we match it and give you 25% off that stay.
Don't forget, we're getting you ready for the Big Ten championship game on Fox. Northwestern in the championship game, about to take on Ohio State, trying to end their miseries against the Buckeyes. They've lost 6 straight and 30 of their last 31, but anything's possible. That's going to be a good football game right here on Fox. Mike Hill, Casey Jacobson, and Steve Lavin taking you across the nation. Casey, how many points did you score a game in college? What's the most points you ever scored?
49 against Arizona
You had 49?
I did.
Oh, so you know what Marcus Howard was feeling today.
A little bit, and he was supposedly sick with the flu. The only people that were getting sick was Kansas State fans watching him just go nuts.
Marquette and Marcus Howard getting them. He had 26 points in the first half alone. Now, this is a kid who had 52 earlier in this group. And getting it done also in the second half, Lav.
Well, and it's textbook technique in terms of the form, the technique on his shot. I was most impressed with the defense by Marquette.
Yeah, they held 71 points. They win at 83.
We don't show defense on the highlights, though.
We don't. No charges, no loose balls.
Well, we show big dunks like Mike Parks just did for Memphis against Texas Tech, and then later. How about Tariq Owens, St. John's transfer?
Still wearing a red uniform. It's tripping me out a little bit.
Yeah, and
still got the headband. Yeah, the headband.
3 blocks a game as well.
And Brandon Francis, though. Look at that. Oh, Tech goes on. Knocks off Memphis 78-67. Penn State, Maryland. I don't know. I like this Maryland team. Mark Stevens.
They're coming off a loss at home against Virginia, in which they played very well. They had a chance, but Virginia's just so tough. Now they get a chance to exact revenge on everybody else.
I like Bruno Fernando, but I like that kid right there. He's just got so much heart. Anthony Cowan Jr. and once again, here it is, passing lanes. Give it to me.
When you're so thin, you can squeeze through those little gaps. Easily steal basketballs.
Maryland with a 5-point lead. All right, look at that. Alex Manos.
Oh, he's huge.
Lav, you gave him your shirt.
Got the pipes going.
And you gave him your arms.
Even Iggy Brasdeikis would like that.
Looking good. Northwestern Ohio State coming up next.
And the award goes to Kendra.
I gotta go. I just won. Oh my gosh. I want to thank my mom, my manager, my babysitter. Look, girls, mommy's on TV. Time to go to bed.
Ma'am, your order is ready.
And I like to thank my dog walker.
Your order's ready.
It feels like a big win when you get a deal like this. Introducing McDonald's new $6 Classic Meal Deal. Choose one of 4 favorites. Plus, any size soft drink, small fries, and a pie. All for just $6.
Did you know with Vanishing Deductible, you can earn $100 off your deductible for every year of safe driving? Sing that.
Vanishing Deductible, you can
earn $100
off
your deductible. For every year of safe driving.
For every year of safe driving.
What key you at?
E.
No, G.
G will be too high.
Not for me.
Vanishing Deductible.
Oh, gosh. Sweet.
Love big, love loud, love Levion. From classic new diamonds to the beautiful ombre collection. Bolo bracelets, chocolate diamonds, and every color gemstone in between. No one colors your world like Levion, and nobody sells more Levion than Kay.
Christmas trees try so hard. Lights and ornaments and little choo-choo trains, come on. The best trees, they kind of only need 2 things. Peanut butter and chocolate. Not sorry, Reese's.
Stay tuned for the Big Ten Championship game between Northwestern and Ohio State. That is coming up next right here on Fox. How about the basketball team from Northwestern? They made the tournament a couple years ago and taking on Indiana. Indiana team has got this youngster named Romeo Langford. Floater to follow with Derek Harden. Hoosiers up by 2, and then under 5 seconds remaining in the game, Cats down by 2. Ryan Taylor for the win!
No, they had a chance, though.
Indiana holds on, 68-66. How about Villanova LaSalle? And what's going on with LaSalle, man? What's going on with Nova, I should say, Lav?
Well, this is a backseat brawl here, going to get everyone's best shot because Villanova, in somewhat of a transition year, still capable, as Casey mentioned, of winning the Big East Conference, but they've taken some licks.
LaSalle is 0-7 coming in, and they were in the game against this Villanova team.
This is not a Villanova team that's going to play with the margin for error of years past.
Absolutely.
And as a result, the scores will reflect that. It's not a team chock full of lottery picks or first rounders.
I like glass half full. Wildcats do get the win. St. John's, Georgia Tech, St. John's staying undefeated, although Georgia Tech gave them issues today. Yellow Jackets were up by 12, but well, they got this kid. He's going to be a first-team All-American.
He made 10 baskets. The rest, this is Shamori Pons. He made 10 baskets. The rest of St. John's roster combined to make just 11 baskets. Can I get some help, please?
Well, that's one right there.
There's one of the 11.
Top 25, fellas. I'm calling it right now.
All right.
St. John's
Really?
in the top 25. Johnny's.
All right, Xavier trying to get it together, taking on Oakland. We saw this one earlier today on FS1. Tyreek Jones, slam, and then Paul Scruggs, sophomore, point guard.
Scruggs is no scrub. He can go, fellas.
And then more from Xavier. Oh, yeah, that's deep. Oh, Casey Jacobson range.
That was really deep. This Xavier team, when they move the basketball, they're going to have to score collectively as a group through ball movement, player movement.
They win it by 10, 73-63. Also in the Big East, Seton Hall taking on Louisville. And
Brian McMahon.
He hit some big threes, didn't he?
Crunch time performer. Now, right here, he's got to work a little bit against the traps in terms of staying strong and making better choices. But they had no timeouts, so Seton Hall takes advantage.
Yeah, three-point game became a one-point game after the steal and Anthony Nelson layup. And Miles Powell had a chance to tie, but no good right there.
They did a nice job, Louisville. 6 for 19 from the field was Miles Powell.
Big difference in the second half, 70-65. All right, let's go. Ohio State, Northwestern, we are ready to roll. Big Ten championship coming up
that
next.
guy cares
right here
about this game?
It's going to be a good one, baby.
Let's go, my guy. Really well to every play. They earn it. It's on time. It's on time.
It all comes down to this.
Everything that you got for 60 minutes.
Northwestern, Ohio State, the Big Ten Championship presented by Discover. Tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
We always want to raise good kids.
The challenges raising boys in the Me Too era.
I want him to be known as a guy who respects women.
Monday on Fox 5 News at 5.
First little doggy was a white one. That little birdie was too. Second little doggy.
Leaving a career to follow a calling takes courage.
Pair of shoes and they were free.
A personalized financial strategy can give you confidence to take the next step.
Hi guys. Doggies off to see the world. Oh yeah.
See how access to JP Morgan investment expertise can help you. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Enjoy the road home. Just not too much. Hurry in to receive a credit of up to $3,000 on select models now through January 2nd.
Altice One by Optimum has a voice-activated remote so easy to use it's hard to believe, especially if you don't believe anything.
Lifetime guarantee? Doubt it. Knew it. Voice-activated remote. Find grilling shows.
They say you can... Try Altice One, the all-in-one entertainment experience that converts the skeptics for just $69.99 a month for the first year.
The CDC says cigarette smoking among American adults is at the lowest level ever recorded.
Let's send it to our AARP card holder, Michael.
Oh, Mike, what?
Join Sukanya and Jen starting at 4:30.
Getting ready in Indy, Northwestern, Ohio State, Big Ten Championship on the line. Kickoff, hour and 18-minute. Paris Campbell, wide receiver, getting ready to go. Dwayne Haskins, be looking for him a lot. Those 11 receiving touchdowns, second best in the conference. Ohio State coming off that big win, of course, over Michigan. And don't forget, it's a college hoops doubleheader on Monday, headlined by a Big Ten showdown between 14th ranked Iowa and number 9 Michigan State. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern Monday on FS1. Big Ten is back, man. 4 teams in the playoffs, I mean, in the tournament last year. They got 7 teams in the top 25 right now, man. They have resurrected this conference. How impressed have you been with them playing so far?
Well, I'd say the Big Ten has the deepest conference in the country. ACC, strong at the top in terms of the first 4 or 5 teams. But when you look at the Big Ten, you go 10, 11 deep in terms of quality basketball. That bodes well. And the numbers, the metrics of the math, Casey, bear that out with the wins over top 25 teams.
And they have a couple of bounce-back candidate teams to me, and I wrote them down. So Michigan, they lose Mo Wagner to the NBA, and Iggy Brazdeikis comes in, and they're already a top 5 team in the country. Ohio State was supposed to take a step back when Keita Bates-Diop left, and they're tough with Chris Holtmann as their coach. Wisconsin, to me, is the #1 team. They didn't make the tournament last year because of injuries and everything. Ethan Happ's been awesome. Dimitri Trice is back as well.
That's Big Ten basketball. It's about football right now. Coming up right now, Big Ten Championship Game pregame show right here on Fox.
Up next from Indianapolis, Northwestern makes their Big Ten Championship Game debut, while Ohio State needs a win to keep their playoff hopes afloat.
In every great battle, there is a moment where everything changes. A time where talk and speculation fades away and the fight of your life begins.
I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded.
When the stakes are this high, you cannot afford to back down.
We've been preparing for this since January. Come out here and ball.
With a possible playoff berth on the line, your lineage won't help you.
I'm gonna get everything I got for y'all. Y'all give me the same. Play with energy and love each other, man.
It's time to earn your spot.
So welcome to the fight.
Domination for the Buckeyes. What a performance.
Standing in the way is an opponent cut from a different breed. And these cats are ready to pounce.
There's one reason why we're going to Indianapolis, and that's to go beat Big Ten champions.
So welcome to the fight.
60 minutes to prove you wanted more.
Touchdown Northwestern. Wow.
It's the Big Ten Championship Game, next on Fox.
Second straight and 4th overall Big Ten title game for Urban Meyer's Buckeyes. Will a win tonight push them up into the college football playoffs? This, the first Big Ten championship game for Pat Fitzgerald and Northwestern. Coach Fitzgerald saying this week, I expect our guys will prepare like it's a one-game playoff to go to the Rose Bowl, which for the Wildcats it is. And an anonymous donor and Northwestern, they paid for 58 buses to transport over 3,400 students 3.5 hours from Evanston to Indy today. Memories being made for the purple and white. We welcome you to the Fox College Football pregame show, sponsored by Wendy's. Wendy's uses fresh, never frozen beef on every hamburger every single day. The most watched college football regular season in Fox Network history continues next. As for the 8th straight year, we present for you the Big Ten Championship Game live right here on Fox. Thrilled you're with us tonight. Rob Stone, Robert Smith, Matt Leinart, the coach, Dave Wannstedt here with you. Ohio State, they are the big box brand here. Northwestern, it's more like Small Business Saturday. But, Coach, the Wildcats, and not just this season, they deserve some more mainstream love.
Oh, they do. You know, living in Chicago, I mean, the excitement in that city is truly, it's tough to explain. And everybody's talking, rightfully so, about Coach Fitzgerald and the team and the coaches. But I think it goes further than that. You got the administration, you know, the athletic director, Jim Phillips, the new facilities. You mentioned the students coming down on the buses. I mean, everybody's all in. And if you're a Northwestern fan, you should hold your head high and feel good about it.
Did you pay for those?
What?
Did you pay
he
for
was
those?
not the anonymous
He's the anonymous donor, isn't he? You pay for those buses?
You know, I did not. But you know what? Now, it's a good thought. That's a good thought.
Northwestern is such a hard team to figure out. They're an enigma for me. All 4 losses this year. They finished 8-4. All 4 losses at home. They went undefeated on the road. They didn't win a non-conference game yet. Fitz has got them in the Big Ten championship, which is all that matters. I think this game is going to be potentially closer than people expect.
Yeah, and for me, it's a mild surprise to see Ohio State in the championship game based on what we had seen throughout the course of the season and the way they played against Michigan, the way that they won that game against Michigan, the biggest surprise for me in college football this season, because of what we had seen from both of those teams leading up to that game, Ohio State got everything together at the right time. We'll see if they can carry it on into the championship game.
The early big news in college football came just outside Big D today. If Texas could somehow knock off Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship, that could open up the playoff door for the Buckeyes. The first rematch between these two heated rivals in 115 years today in Arlington. Two head coaches hugging it out. Kyler Murray, last chance to earn some Heisman votes. Third quarter, Texas down 6. Sam Ehlinger, little Jordan Humphrey. Extra point, no good. Tied at 27. A field goal later. Ehlinger sacked in the end zone by Trey Brown. Oklahoma up 5. Oklahoma's next possession. Murray, how about this grab, guys?
Great touch on that ball, but the concentration, pulling this thing in with one hand, controlling it to the ground. Tremendous job.
Oklahoma up 39-27. Less than a minute to go. Texas inside the Oklahoma 20. Ehlinger's pass tipped and picked.
That's what Oklahoma, right? The turnovers, Matt. We were talking about that. He did not turn it over.
It was an emotional Lincoln Riley after the game.
It's been a hard year. 4 in a row. Something's never been done in Oklahoma, never been done in this league. I'm so proud of our guys. Texas was a great team, great battle with them, both of them this year. But we're the champs, and it feels darn good.
SEC championship game in Atlanta, 1 versus 4. Jake Fromm, Riley Ridley.
Tell you what, so much attention on Tua Tagovailoa, but Jake Fromm has absolutely come out in this game and been dominant.
That's dropping it in the bucket right there, Matt.
Completing 70% of his passes this season.
This week's college football playoff rankings once again showing Alabama on top. Clemson, they've got Pitt in the ACC championship game. Coach, I saw a t-shirt you were wearing today. Notre Dame sitting in South Bend, feet up on a sofa. They're idle. Georgia in at number 4. Buckeyes lurking. They're up 4 spots to number 6. So Ohio State, would a win put you in the playoff regardless of today's results?
When we win, I think that we deserve to be in the playoffs just because we've beaten, I think it would be 3 ranked opponents, 2 that are already still ranked. I just feel like we got it clicking at the right time.
We just put a pretty good beat down on the team up north, and there's a top 4 team, had the #1 defense. Now, I know they don't really get feelings in the play and things like that, but this team's gone through a lot of adversity. It hasn't broke us. We're playing our best ball going into the part of the season where you would love to see a team play perfect throughout the whole season, but I feel like the more emphasis should be who's playing their best ball when it matters most, and I feel like the Buckeyes are doing that so far.
We're getting better each and every game. We're not our best team yet, but once we get to the back end of the season, then we can compete with anybody. We just want to show that we're gelling at the right time, where our stock is rising, and we're ready to make a run.
There'll be plenty of debating these next couple days, who's in and who's out. For more on that, we go out to Indy right now. Joel Klatt joins us, calling today's game with Gus Johnson. All right, Klatter, number 1, what do the Buckeyes have to do tonight to try and get themselves into the playoff picture?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, they're going to have a dominant victory, very similar to what we saw last week. And I've been thinking about the college football season, and I got to tell you guys, I thought that last week's 60 minutes from Ohio State might have been the best 60 minutes any college football team put on the field all season long. I know Bama was great against LSU, but last week was just, I tell you what, that was a case study in how to not only beat Michigan, but come out and play great in a big game. So I think that they're going to need a very similar performance here against Northwestern. The hard part is, Rob, Northwestern doesn't really give that up. Their biggest loss this year was by 14. It was all the way back in week 2 of the season, and that defense doesn't necessarily give up big plays like Michigan gave up last week. So I think it's going to be a tougher task for Ohio State to get that big margin of victory like they had a week ago.
Yeah, and Joel, right now, the story that's really reverberating through college football is Alabama losing to Georgia. How does that impact everybody in the 4 slot and even 5, 6, and maybe all the way down to 8?
Yeah, listen, when it comes to that SEC game, I think that the loser should be out. Plain and simple, in particular if it's Alabama. I'm tired of Alabama getting the get-out-of-jail-free card. In the history of college football, in the AP poll era, you go back to the 30s, Minnesota, in the first AP poll year ever, they won the national championship without winning the Big Ten. And then it took all the way until 2011 before we crowned another national champion that did not win their conference. That was Alabama in 2011 over LSU. I think think that it is going to be penalizing the team that wins that game, i.e. Georgia. If they pull off this upset against Alabama, it penalizes them more than anybody else. I'm tired of crowning national champions that did not win their conference championship, and for that reason, whatever team loses that SEC game, I'm going to argue that they should be left out of the playoff.
Yeah, Joel, in that conversation, what conference championship did Notre Dame win, by the way?
I think you just asked about Notre Dame. It's getting pretty loud in here.
I did, my friend.
They're not in the conference.
Enjoy the day. Matt Leiner's got the answer. Clatter, enjoy the call with our good friend Gus Johnson. Plenty to discuss about who's in and who's out in the college playoffs. All four of us here are going to debate it coming up in a moment. Wendy's food truck has been giving out free Dave singles at college campuses all season long. Now you can download the Wendy's app for great offers brought to you exclusively by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the NCAA. Ooh, those look good right now, don't they? 4-year starter Clayton Thorson. What a year he's